I'm sorry, Andrew Weissman, but if I recall correctly, in 2018, you were one of the people who helped write the Mueller report, and you all botched the hell out of that.
And never in my wildest dreams would I have thought we would be here. I thought we were better as a country.
Oh, yeah.
Like all these sites that have been around for creating videos and all that, like text stock videos, they're done.
But that's why Canva was one of the first to get into doing AI.
But we're not done. We're still around. What is up? Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner. Yeah, and 2018 Innovation Award winner, given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I reversed it this time, but we're all good. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And since 2020, that team reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. Plus, we're just doing the tally for the end of this year, 2024, and we're going to hit the 100,000 mark again. So that is a beautiful thing. So if you don't know where you are, or if you do know where you are, you're at Primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala. I think I don't know, I got to check, or maybe Aisha can tell you how long we've been doing this sort of format. Someone was asking me the other day, said, I got to check, but Aisha's good at these things. So why don't I just bring Aisha and Lala up? And we have Mrs. Claus on today. Mrs. Claus is here. Hello, Mrs. Claus.
Very festive.
Very festive. This is very good. And for people who are watching live on the replay, Aisha's not on cam because she's having a little bit of a health challenge visually, but she's with us in spirit. So what is going on in your worlds, ladies?
Oh, it's beautiful. What's not beautiful? I mean, I try to focus on the holidays and what the real reason for the holiday is. And it helps a lot to just kind of sit back and enjoy the Christmas. I love Christmas lights. Our tree is twinkling. We got our lights in the window, driving around, looking at everybody's lights. It's just starting to feel very peaceful.
Are you comparing?
Yeah. Trying to see what I'm going to do next year.
Okay. I'm going to let you ladies chat for a second. There's something bothering me about my screen here. So, Aisha, what's going on in your world?
Oh, not much. Like I was saying behind the scenes, that the final illustrations for my children's book, The Infallible Fanny Freeman, are done. And so now I'm just setting up with Barnes & Noble to do the printing and the ebook as well. And I have plans for an audio.
Oh, book. That's what I was going to ask. There's an audio.
So once I set up the ebook and the print on demand version of the book, then I'm going to move to doing the audio book.
I love it.
Who's going to read it? You?
No, my cousin, who does lots of Broadway stuff. She's been on the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and she starred in Dreamgirls, and she starred in Les Mis on Broadway, and Six.
Hold on. What?
That's amazing.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How come we need to have her on? What?
Yeah, she's what I joke is my grandparents' second batch of grandchildren. They're the ones that me and my sisters are over 45, and then there are her and my the other two, her sister and then my other cousin that are 32 and under.
So she has them in batches.
Yeah. Well, my aunts are 10 and
she has them in batches. Okay.
My aunts are 10 and 12 years younger than my mother.
Okay.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So that's why there are those of us who are over 45 and then those that are under 32 and under.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. The youngest cousin is a year. The youngest cousin is, I think, 8 months younger than my nephew and a year older than my daughter.
Oh wow.
That's too much math for me.
Yeah. So my youngest aunt, my sister, and I were all pregnant within the same 18-month period.
Wow. Yeah, that's all at once like that. That's crazy.
Okay, so before we go any further, we have Regina Free. Regina, even before we went live, says, "Good evening, fellow travelers. So glad to see you choosing joy and peace is on tonight's itinerary." Yes. And she also
Yeah.
says, "Cuteness, Lala."
Thank
All
you.
right, cuteness, Lala.
Lala, is that a
Um,
one-piece pajama set?
Yes, it is. Because I love my onesies.
Me too. Oh my gosh, me too. I've got
here
like
we
four of them.
here we go. Here we
But no,
go.
but let me tell you, my daughter had this sweater. My daughter works at Forever 21 in the mall, and she got
Okay.
this sweater. It's part of their Wicked themed their clothing. By the way, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's excellent. Um, but my daughter had this sweater. It's like this brushed kind of sweater. It is so pretty, and it's this pretty green, and it has the W, the Wicked W, the where a pocket would go, and it looks and it's comfortable. It's thick, and I'm like, oh my gosh, can you get me one? And it was $50, 50% off in the
Oh,
store.
she works there?
And no, that's they get their discount on top of the store sale. So it was 50% off on the
Wow.
store sale, and then she got the other 50% off. She ended up getting it for $10, and I love it. I can't wait to wear it for the holidays because
Wow.
it's a nice holiday green, and it's so thick and warm. And with it being as cold as it has gotten here, oh my god! I woke up,
Oh,
it
is
was
it really
20.
cold there now?
Yeah, it
Oh my
was
god!
this week. It was a deep freeze. Like it was bad.
Yeah,
Like on Thursday here, crazy,
yeah, it was
crazy.
20
Wow.
degrees today. Only the high was like 32.
Oh
Yeah.
no, 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 no. Mm-mm.
No, well, we're not. We don't live a Sheila glamorous life, Lala. So we're just we're
Well,
just
believe
we're
it or
just
not,
You
Portugal
don't want
has
to
a
pull
lot
out,
of areas that have snow.
yeah, but you don't want to pull out all the winter stuff just yet because the way the weather has been,
it
like
goes
we
back
had,
and forth.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had 80 degrees like 3.5 weeks ago. One day,
Wow.
one day out the blue. So it's like you don't want to put away all of your, you know, fall clothing because it might get too hot. And then
But you
like
know,
we
global warming is not a thing, right?
no global
absolutely.
warming. Well, global warming is not a thing, but you try going through global warming and perimenopause at the same time. Those hot,
Ouch!
those cold flashes.
Ouch!
I
Ouch!
can't get my body temperature correct at all, and it's a wonder I even sleep because I swear to God, I spend most of my night either opening up a window, closing the window, turning the heat on, turning the fan on, turning the heat off, opening the window, taking the blankets
Yep.
off, changing my clothes. It's like I probably get maybe at the max 2 hours of sleep.
Yep. Yep. I understand that. I'm in the same club.
Oh my gosh. I'm just waiting for my blood test to come back so they can determine how much of this hormone replacement therapy I need because I can't do this.
I don't blame
I
you.
can't keep doing this.
It's so interesting because I'm blessed to chat with all different people in all different walks of life, and that this is something I'm hearing more and more of with ladies
Yes.
that are in your age group.
Yes.
Well, now you'll both you. I think you'll always be forever 21, but in your, So, but I hear that more and more and more,
Yeah, it's a
and
nightmare.
it's there's more I can share on this, but I could just say
Well,
that
I think that part of our choosing joy and peace, particularly in the next year, is that we should have this conversation on this show about menopause and perimenopause because, we're struggling as Gen Xers going through this. Um, and these
Nobody
older
told us.
millennials are kind of like, that's really going to happen. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
Nobody told
nobody
us.
told us.
So
well,
now
yeah,
we want to make sure that y'all know because it's not pleasant.
yeah, 100%. Actually, another area that I'm putting it out there in the universe. I've been getting a lot of education from someone about the whole area of domestic violence against women,
Yes.
and I someone has been giving me a lot of information about it, and it's really interesting that almost every other conversation I'm having right now, that subject is coming up, whether it's with women or men.
Yeah.
Like I was chatting with an associate during the week, he has allowed a friend to live in his apartment with him, and she opened up the other day that she has suffered domestic violence from her brother, and her brother has psychiatric issues. And
Oh,
so, and I'm just going, so it's there's something going on but I just put out in the universe, I just saying, powers that be, do you want me to be a men's advocate against women who have experienced domestic violence? I don't know where it's going to lead, but it's certainly becoming a very poignant conversation topic in my head and with others.
And I think when we do the conversation and we talk about menopause and change of life, we should also talk about prostate health for men, because the other black men in particular have significant challenges with their prostate health, and very many don't get checked as they should.
Oh, I know that. I'm probably one of the. I guess in some areas I'm not perfect, far from it, but one of the areas I don't play with is I go to my doctor every month. And
look, y'all can get a prostate check if we can go put our breasts in a panini press every year.
Yep. Yeah. Hey,
you guys can get the prostate check.
100%. No, I have the same doctor as my dad. So all the health challenges he's had in his life that are potentially hereditary, my doctor keeps an eye out and is always checking to see if I have or susceptible. And if there's even a little bit of a thing, we're in attack mode. We're on the, oh, look at this. So Regina says, I read that misogynist comments online went up 4,660% after the election. What a surprise.
I'm not surprised. And guess what? If anybody got what those last 4 years with him had been like, this is what it was like. It started out this way. And of course they're going up because a person in his cabinet owns a social media platform where these things are allowed to take place and does nothing to curb it.
Well, it's just one. I think I shared it in our Discord group, private and the public one, about the opinion polls. There's a lot of support for 47 by millennials. That is concerning. That is. I wanted to put it as a story this week.
They were up here blaming. Look, but those were the same folks that were sitting up here making all these TikTok videos blaming Gen X and all these think pieces blaming Gen X. And the truth is that, and I had to say this to somebody who was a millennial and somebody who was a Gen Z. They're like blaming us. I'm like, no. The only people who are surprised that there are Gen X people like this are you guys and the younger generations. We know these people. We went to school with them, and they're the same then that they are now.
These are the ones who were the kids who were bullied, and now they want to be bullies.
Yeah, like when I saw that, again, I'm in the middle, but when I saw that, saying, "You guys are really wow." Okay, more comments here. We've got Regina saying, "Hope that the new year brings shows on health and challenges and solutions." Yeah, I could actually bring on maybe my holistic nutritionist. She's very, very good.
And that's one of the things that we want to do, Regina, because we're like, we are not spending the next 4 years talking just about that man.
Nope. Right. We're not talking about that one every time. No.
Regina says, oh, Nancy Mace vomit saying, quote, all women should be believed. Unquote.
I actually wrote an article about Nancy Mace what was it, Thursday? It's on my Medium, and I posted it to to Blue Sky. And that article it's called "The Caring of Congress, Nancy Mace, and the Insufferable Legacy of Weaponized Whiteness."
Wow, I gotta go read that.
Dr. Tachi, good day, Dr. Tachi. Hall is good. Regina says, hello, Dr. Tachi. Dr. Tachi says, Regina, hey, sis. And thanks again to Dr. Tachi last night, hanging out with me for about 2 hours. I was doing some testing on a new live stream platform. I didn't get into bed. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. We got to bed last night, but it was a good time. And some people jumped in. One subscriber from Texas, another one from Jamaica, and were asking us questions. So that was a cool time. All right. I think what we're going to do. Agreed, Lala. Agreed. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for a quick break. And when we come back, we'll get into some stories like drones and a certain person saying, I don't think I can lower prices like I said I could. So we are going to be back in just a moment. So I'm going to take everybody off to run our.
As we enter into the holiday season, I would like to take this time to address something near and dear to my heart. As an international real estate agent since 2006, I've dedicated my career to guiding others through one of most life's significant journeys, homeownership. I've seen firsthand how informed decisions can transform lives, turning dreams into realities. But today, I want to address a deeply personal matter, one that has altered my life and the lives of countless others. Two beautiful souls, my beloved sisters, Azure and Valerie, were taken tragically from us by a drunk driver in January 2023. Their absence is a void that words cannot fill, a reminder of how fleeting and precious life is. Their laughter, their dreams, and their love for life were extinguished in a moment of reckless irresponsibility. I implore you from the depths of my heart, which is still mending, never to get behind the wheel while impaired. Driving under the influence is not just a poor decision, it's a lethal gamble with your life and lives of others. Each time someone chooses to drive drunk, they risk becoming the cause of an irreversible tragedy, much like the ones that took my sisters. In my profession, I emphasize the power of education and informed decisions. The same principles apply here. Understand the risks, recognize the consequences, and know that no destination or convenience is worth the price of a human life. There are always alternatives. Call a taxi, use a rideshare service, or stay where you are. It's a small choice that you can make to save lives, including your own. There are just too many options to make an excuse for drunk driving. Uber, Lyft, cab, friend driving you home. Just put the keys down. It's not worth it. Like buying or selling a home, life's journey is emotional and rewarding, but unlike a property transaction, some choices have no second chances. Please choose life, choose responsibility, and remember that every decision behind the wheel affects not just you, but families, communities, and future generations. With a plea for safety and a heart full of hope, I wish you happy holidays. May your home be filled with joy, love, and peace. I'm Laura Key, the Realty Goddess. Be the light.
There we go. Welcome back to Primetime. Are you wearing the Be the Light t-shirt underneath your onesie? Okay, yeah, that's probably none of my business. Will, I didn't ask that. Okay, Will. I didn't ask that. Will, that's edited from the show, all right? Final edit.
No, I will look, I will have a full outfit.
All right. So before we get into our as some people say, our tea today, check out Girlfriends Chat with Aisha, Lala, and Jill Jones at Patreon. There's the link. Also, Primetime Saturday show store. I'm hearing some new stuff may be coming in. Is that true?
There is new stuff.
There is new stuff.
There's lots of new stuff. There's 8 new products of 2 designs I made. One is the Serenity line of products, focusing on peace, and the other one is the Black Joy line, and that focuses on the joy of Black people, how we're moving into 2025 with serenity and joy.
Okay, so what we're going to do next week is we're actually going to go into the store and have will showcase the store as part of next week's conversation. Yeah. All right. Join the Discord group. Email me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. I am very active in the Discord group these days. Very, very active. So I want to make sure everyone checks it out. Also, subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Also, please like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. If you want to advertise on this platform or any of the platforms that I'm on and other people, they'll give you their contact information if you want to support them, as you should. And next week, on December 21st, we're broadcasting live on the 14th. Ask us anything. We haven't done one in a long while, but what better way to end off the year well, then ask us anything. So Aisha will be here. Lala's going to be here. I've invited Dr. Tachi to see if she'll come on. And hopefully, maybe if she can behave. No, I'm just joking. Well, Miss Miss Jill Jones, come on and join us. But put it, mark on your
I'm gonna
calendar.
I actually have to text her again and see if she's
Please
available.
do.
So,
We
I
need
will
we
definitely.
need a dose of Jill Jones before the end of the year.
Yeah.
That is a very important thing to get our dose of Jill Jones. All right. And one other thing I'm just going to do really quick. Okay.
Oh, and you know,
So,
there's one other thing though. Before you do that, I forgot. There's going to be new merchandise in the store tomorrow too.
okay. There you go.
Lala gave me the design for the get someone else
All
to
right.
do it.
Okay.
Putting that up tomorrow.
Since she's here, and especially because she's here, check out Indie Soup TV, otherwise known as Indie Soup Media. There is the link over between, I think, almost 30 independent content creators powered by our good friend Dr. Tachi. And 8 or 9 months in, at least 20,000 YouTube subscribers. What? Yes,
I am so
20,000.
proud of you, Dr. Tachi.
What?
Very nice.
What?
Awesome.
What? And what a great thing. And she's just going to keep on making it happen. Surprise, surprise. 45 says in Time magazine, he doesn't think he can lower prices.
Oh, really?
No, we're going to do this. This is the day coming home to roost. You idiots. So now we all have to suffer this liar. So now you're going to make excuses for this too. Oh, but you know, it was such a horrible thing with Biden. No, bitch, this is his economy.
No,
And if anything good comes in his economy, it's going to be because of Biden. Y'all don't understand how our government works. But guess what? He fooled you again.
Enjoy those $10 scrambled eggs.
Yeah. Oh, and guess what? He also said that he is thinking about privatizing the postal service, which he said, and that he supposes he's going to run 2 terms unless Congress tells him, okay, you're okay, we'll have to do something else.
What did he say? What did he tell us, y'all? Wait a minute. What did he tell us? He said you don't have to worry about voting again.
But you know, the thing is that this has been in the works for a very long time, and we've been saying this. You dumb down the population so that they think you're actually a hero instead of the villain that you actually are. You do things like because again, let's go back to the whole No Child Left Behind thing, right? These children that weren't left behind are now voting age. Okay, so now you've successfully dumbed down an entire population so that you can tell them anything and they'll believe it.
Yeah.
And it's a prime position for you as an oligarch to take over. It's been in the works for a very long time. So even though it seems like it's to some people it's not related, it's definitely 100% related. This has been a plan in the plans for a very long time. So congratulations, you've got it. I'm just going to drink my tea.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Dr. Tachi. I know that we all are doing that because I'm certainly in that area right now. But the problem is we all still have to suffer with this idiocy that they have believed in, that now we're all in the same boat. So that makes it that much harder for us who already knew that this was coming. And this is why we continue to tell you guys, you need to take action. You need to be watching what they're doing and doing the exact same thing that they're doing. You want loopholes? Stop complaining. Go figure it out where they're putting their money and where they're taking their money away. It's public knowledge. So you need to do the same thing because you need to take care of your own household because it wasn't your choice to be in this situation. It was theirs.
Yeah. And here's the thing, and this is why we're going to have this conversation about joy, because the only way, and I think the lesson that we learned the most from that 4 years is how miserable people are.
Yeah.
and how their misery is contagious. And the only way to combat that is through joy and peace and doing a lot of self-care and self-concern and paying attention and turning inward to ourselves and our community. Because the thing is that if we continue, if we try to engage too much, we are at a point where they will take and take and take everything that they can until we have absolutely nothing left. This means gatekeeping our culture. And we're going to really have to talk with younger generations about how to do that, because they keep wanting to put so much of our stuff out there on social media for viral moments to get popular, their 15 minutes of fame, and then believe that these appropriations by white people who are they go to school with and they know are cool or whatever, yeah, they're down or whatever. No, because guess what? They use your stuff, they do your dances, little dances in front of you, whatever. But when they go home, their white parents and their white families are teaching them how to oppress you once you all become adults. And so there are certain things that we are going to have to do, because guess what? This, like I said at the beginning, we're not going to spend the next 4 years on this show the way we had to do the last time that he was president for 4 years. We've been doing this show for 7 years, and we're not doing this. We're going to talk about things that are concerning to us and our issues and our community, because having to deal with all that other crap, that's going to drive us crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly. And to your point of the commodification of culture, or the McDonaldization of our culture,
Right.
uh,
Yes.
it's I liken it to what they do in Africa, and I'm saying that as a whole. Let's say West Africa. One thing that they'll do is, there are tariffs on finished goods that come into this country, that come
Mhm.
into Europe. So they'll go into Africa and take like cocoa beans,
Yeah.
process them into their rubbish chocolate, and sell it back to us.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that they do with African American culture. You take the
Right.
raw materials, which are the dances, you process it, and then you sell it back to us. I'll never forget when Melissa Harris Perry's show was on MSNBC,
Mm-hmm.
and she had some of the original creators of the Harlem Shake. So,
Yeah.
for those of you who know New York or are from New York, you'll remember the dance, the Harlem Shake.
Mhm.
Well, it became like in 2011, 2012, it became like a social media dance, but it wasn't the real Harlem Shake. So when I
Right.
saw it, I'm like, what? That's not the Harlem Shake, but it was a lot of non-melanated content creators doing it. It was a whole challenge. And I remember at the time I was teaching at Nova Southeastern University, and the president did the Harlem Shake. I said, okay, so I was happy to see Melissa Harris Perry get on and talk about the Harlem
Yeah.
Shake, and had some of the original creators come on
Yeah.
and actually do it on television. But there's not always going to be a Melissa Harris Perry to say this is actually what it is. So we have to start to be smarter about culture. Now, culture, I believe that culture is to be shared. I
Yeah.
love the sharing of culture. What I don't like is the stealing of culture and the commodifying of that stolen culture. And that happens way too often with people of color, and we're tired of it. So not only are we not going to help you fight these 4 years, that you're on your own. We've already done our job for hundreds of years. You're on your own. Not only are we not going to help you fight, you all figure it out. Fight amongst yourselves, fight to the death, whatever. We
Make
also,
your blue bracelets and go in the corner.
exactly, I could care less. I don't give two. So if that happens, whatever. But we're also not going to sit idly by while you continue to steal
Right.
culture and commodify it, and we get nothing. So we have to be smarter, and we have to teach, like you were saying, Lala, our the younger generation to be smarter about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I
I
just
mean,
want to jump
Lala,
in. I just
just
want to
real
jump
quick,
in. Go ahead.
just because I don't want to lose this thought, and it's directly related to what you just said about the Harlem Shake. As Gen Xers, we know what happens, because the Cabbage Patch doesn't look the way that you see people doing it. These white people took that dance and made it look like you're churning butter.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how it originally went. I remember what it looked like.
All right. Regina says, F around and find out, MAGA. She also says 2026 midterms will be a blue. Well, that's if the Democrats get their act together. I'm not going to guarantee.
Exactly, because don't forget, guys, now Nancy Pelosi is causing problems with AOC. Stop fighting amongst yourself. Damn it, unified.
Nancy, shut up.
Problems with AOC right now because AOC got that position of power on the oversight committee, and Nancy Pelosi doesn't think that she should have it because she's too young. But here's my point. What we don't need are more 80-year-olds sitting in Congress, still acting like this is the Congress of the 1970s and 80s when it is not.
Okay, I just want to jump in quickly again. Tony Benzino, who was with us earlier this morning, myself and Dr. Tachi. The election showed how many vicious, I think maybe vicious or vicious people in this country. Fascists, okay. In this country. Also, how no one knows how government works. And Real Django puts his hands up in prayer. I also, but I want to get back to this whole thing about he can't lower prices. So with his tariffs, Ed can't think lower prices. What's going to happen to America?
Baby, you preach to the choir. You preach to the people who already knew. This is the people you're talking to. You're talking to the choir. We've been singing this note from day one. So it's not us that don't understand, and it's MAGA. And nor do they want to understand it because they want to keep putting him as a savior.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is, amongst that battalion of fools, they're going to continue to have an external locus of control and blame everyone except the person who is responsible for it. So the tariffs will make things go up. They will blame Biden for the tariffs going up. Never mind, he said he's going to put tariffs outright. They hear what they want to hear. Many of them can't read anyway, so it doesn't matter. They hear what they want to hear. So they're going to blame someone else. So to be honest, I don't know what is going to happen. The prices will go up. And the prices will go up, and the top 1% will benefit off of that. And it will be the bottom and the middle that carry the brunt of the weight for this. It's not going to be good. And I almost don't want to bring this up.
Dude, bring it up.
And I'm sure you all are going to talk about this if you haven't. So United Healthcare.
Yeah.
We're going to get to it.
Yeah.
Hold your thought.
I don't want to bring that up. I don't want to bring that up because I know you're going to get to it.
It's the next story.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
Okay, it's the next story. But I don't know, and I know Dr. Tachi and especially Aisha, especially political pundits. How come I didn't hear more about this statement in the media? Like I know 45 did an interview with a lady from NBC News, but this part I hardly heard anyone talk about it.
Well, I've heard it, but here's the problem. The media is not going to report on these things because they got what they wanted. Look, he's as much president because of the people who voted for him, the people who sat home, and the media. But remember, the media, he was losing. The media went on this 3-week rampage over Joe Biden's age. Okay. And that right there gave him, notice he was quiet during that whole 3 weeks. That gave him an in. But beyond that, the media really wanted this man to win. And so this is in the Time magazine article where he's on the cover as the person of the year. But it got overshadowed by the fact that he was Time magazine's person of the year. So they promoted that part of it and didn't so much as say that he said he didn't think he could lower prices. And when you listen to the interview, he sounded like a toddler. Because it's
sounds like a toddler.
Yeah, because it was like, dude, well, I don't think I can. Well, I'd like to, but I don't think I can. So basically what he is doing is lowering expectations on himself because he knows how this is going to He knows how this is going to work, and he's trying to pivot. Who can he blame? But the people
He's
that
not
vote for
really
him,
right.
yeah, but the people that vote for him are just stupid, because here you now have the government run by millionaires and billionaires, and a man who wants to be the first trillionaire, who will be getting government dollars. Your prices are only going to go up, and they're going to get all the benefits. They're already launching Doge merchandise that they're going to sell and profit off of. Donald Trump has sold everything in the last couple of weeks, from guitars
Perfume,
to perfume
cologne.
to that stench on his body.
What,
Things.
well, the thing is, this indicates that this country is for sale to the highest bidder.
It
That's
is.
all that means. And they should absolutely 100% be ashamed of themselves. You have nothing to say now about any other regime, any other government, and any country that you deem to be either unfriendly to us or deem to have human rights abuses. Say nothing. Sit down and say nothing. Because the reality is, especially with this judge in charge, you've always wanted that. Now you have it. Congratulations. But the thing is, you have been operating under the guise of democracy. It's never really been a true democracy. Let's be honest with ourselves. This is the guise of democracy. So now that this guise starts to crumble, we'll see how people who thought they were living in a free and fair country fare under autocracy and dictatorship. You will see.
Well,
Also,
I've
I
always said
think
it's a capitalist democracy, not a democracy.
But I think that these people also don't understand how much $1 billion is,
Yeah.
and how hard it is to earn, because that's what they would have to do. Earn $1 billion if your parents can't hand you down money to begin with and put you in positions of power by virtue of their family money. And for some reason, that failure to understand how much that money is, how long it would take them, and how hard they'd have to work to get it, in their minds, they do believe that they can obtain it, that they can't attain it. And that is why they're against the rich paying their fair share in taxes.
Exactly, because they hope to be amongst that
Yeah.
number one day, but you will never. And I'm not trying to be mean. The
No.
reality is that our system is not set up for you to be that, because the system thrives by having people on the bottom. And that's where they want the majority to support the ones at the top. So you are not the only way that you get to have wealth and build real wealth in this country is not by working for someone else. And the most people in this country work for someone else. And most people are taught, and there's nothing wrong with working for someone else. I'm not saying there is. Everybody, doesn't want to be an entrepreneur, but you've also been conditioned that everybody doesn't want to be an entrepreneur. You've been conditioned that business is not for everybody. Is it not really for everybody, or do they just want you to think that it's not for everybody?
Well, they obviously have to have somebody to help them get their billions.
Yeah.
So they're not going to help you get there.
Yeah, and they also have you thinking that just because someone has a lot of money means that they're good at business. Donald Trump has filed for bankruptcy 6 times. 6 different times he's bankrupted businesses, and he still has money supposedly, but people they overlook the bankruptcy and keep looking at the fact that he claims he's rich, or The Apprentice, which was manufactured wealth. And the funny thing for any of us, if we tried to get a bank loan for hundreds of millions of dollars, with 6 bankruptcies attached to us, we couldn't do it. How he does it, and why banks keep giving this man money after he's shown he doesn't pay it back, is insane. And these are the kinds of things that are making people angry with banks, with healthcare companies, insurance companies, with all.
Okay, well, we better get to the healthcare.
Before we do that, really quickly. Yeah. So to what you're saying, Aisha, you remember, I don't know if any of you saw the Making of Anna Delvey that was on Netflix.
Yes.
excellent series. And it was actually produced by Shonda Rhimes. So before I watched that series, I actually read I think the article was in Newsweek, if I'm not mistaken. It was a several page magazine article talking about how this young woman fooled everybody into thinking that she was the daughter of some wealthy person in Europe, and she had everybody fooled. Okay, and so the thing is, because of who she is, what she looks like, she was able to fool these people. Didn't have a dime to her name, but she was
None.
able to fool these people, and banks just gave her money. How much do you need, my dear? Would you
Yeah,
like more?
that's right.
So it's the same type of thing, that there is less attention paid to certain people because
Right.
of who they are, who they know, what the background supposedly is. And here's the thing, you can lie about the background if you look like them and still get money. But let us, who, even if we do have the ins to do this type of thing, there's much more scrutiny. And I'm not just even saying Black people. I'm saying the average, the average
Person,
person.
period.
If you
Because
try to do
it's
that,
more than just being racist. This is also elitism.
Yeah,
absolutely,
This is very much so.
very classist. It is very classist. And, the fact that he says that he can't lower prices, he doesn't care. He does not care. Anyone who thought he did was stupid. Because guess what? You know why he doesn't care? And he shows he doesn't care? Because he didn't select any one of those little peons running around trying to talk to people and convince people to vote for him, for his cabinet or in his administration.
didn't.
All he hired were people who were rich, people who supported him, people who defended him in court, or
People's
people that could nurture relationships he wants with other
Okay.
autocrats.
We're going to continue on the side because I just saw a lot of interesting comments. Real Django says the United States will just get more depressing with the issues just getting worse.
Yes.
He also says a 32-ounce jar of mayonnaise is around $8, and that says it all. Oh, and oxtail prices are through the roof.
Baby,
He's right, though.
You hear
He's
me?
right, though, because I wanted to make oxtails earlier last month, and they were high.
Okay, Regina says all the social media I'm on is talking about the grocery comment, and Fitness IQ Camp says who you know as long as you have the right skin tone.
That's right.
But Real Django says, personally, I think grocery store prices are high because of the wages that have increased to hourly staff, just as fast food meals are higher because of higher wages as well.
Sorry, go ahead.
But that's a problem, because I don't even think that's it. Because here, for example, in Connecticut, we're supposed to get up to, right now, minimum wage is at $15 an hour. They're trying to get to 18 by, I think it's like 2028, right? So, 18 by 2028. So we're at 15 minimum wage. But you go someplace like South Carolina, Alabama, the minimum wage is like what, $7?
Yeah.
And the price of eggs and things at these grocery stores, particularly these brand things, are still the same.
Well, and let's not forget, y'all. Don't forget, Kroger is guilty.
Yes.
They know that they were guilty. They said they kept those prices high on purpose because they knew people were going to spend it. It had nothing to do with paying more people, paying more at the checkout. It had nothing to do. It all was greed. We knew that if you had to have the eggs, so guess what? $8. There you go. $8. Who's going to give me $8.25? $8.25. All right, sold to an American.
Yeah. Well, here's the other part of it too, is that, remember, these prices, they raised the prices during the pandemic by saying there was a shortage in the supply chain. And they raised the prices then, but they also raised them because they knew people weren't going to go to stores in particular regions of the country that had, like our whole state was on lockdown. Okay. You could go to necessary places. And so things like stores and things were pretty much closed down. Right. And so the prices were going up. People were getting things delivered. The prices just never came down.
Nope.
The pandemic they
will never come back to the prices pre-pandemic.
No, and that's what kills me, is because this man said just 2 weeks ago that he was working on trying to get gas to under $2. Now, yesterday, Day before yesterday, he says now he doesn't think he can lower prices. Dude, gas was never going to come down. And then also last week he was talking about, I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on drill, baby, drill. Stop talking in sound bites. It sounds cute.
See, really quickly to that whole thing, you have no control over oil prices. In case you didn't know, you don't, what you don't produce you cannot control. So you have some reserves of your own, but you're getting them from the Middle East and Africa. They control those. Asia, the world market controls those, not you. So there's nothing you could do about that. So now you're talking about drill, baby, drill. Not that I expect him to be cognizant of this, because I know he's not, but that type of thing, the whole fracking, etc., that is the reason that there are earthquakes in Oklahoma, places that don't have fault lines, etc. So this has bigger implications than just the money. There are also these environmental concerns.
Yep.
Should I in Canada be praying for America?
You should be praying for yourselves, because this is going to affect you too.
I know.
Well,
It's already going to affect you, because guess what? He's already out here lying on your prime minister.
Oh yeah, Canada's the 51st state.
He's already
Real
out here
Django
lying.
says, "Oh yes. I've always said the grocery stores got used to high price items. I just know that prices won't come down because they like the money coming in." Of course, that says it all. And also to remember, a lot of these companies have contributed to him.
And that's why you have. Sorry, go ahead.
Canada and Mexico are about to become our enemies, because already he's out here lying on the leaders of those two countries, and they both have had to clap back on him for lying. So there's about to be some tension there. And I'm sorry, but that Mexican president, she's no joke. I love her.
Mm-hmm.
She told him, tell your people to stop using drugs.
and to the point, yes, that I've heard that before when I did I was part of the Dow Jones multimedia journalism boot camp back in 2014, and that was the thing, as we were doing our interviews and things, and that came up, and they were like point blank, listen, if the American appetite for drugs was not as strong as it was, there would be no drug problem.
Right. And also, too, the price, let's be very clear.
Smile, Lala. Smile. It's great.
I think that a lot of Americans have No, but I think a lot of Americans have forgotten that the reason that our prices have gone up, it wasn't just the pandemic. We have to be very, very honest with ourselves of when this happened. After 9/11, all the way back in 2001, our prices within 2 weeks went to the oblivion, and they have not come back down on anything. And the fact is that we don't necessarily, people have been trying to explain it. And so they say, oh, it was just the pandemic. Oh, it had to be this president. It has to be that, or it had to be the housing crisis. There were so many things tied up in what George W. Bush did after 9/11, and we still haven't untangled them. And because Trump came, 8 years after Obama, because Trump came then and ended up being a worse president than George W. Bush, people have kind of let him off the hook and not gone back to revisit how bad he actually was, and how all these things that are happening now are a result of policies he put in place. He was responsible for No Child Left Behind, leaving behind tons of these American children who vote without education as adults. He was also the reason why gas prices went up $2. Gas prices went up $2. A lot of gas prices, particularly in the South, were under $1.10. And then they haven't gone back. So I think that we're going to have to revisit that if we're going to tell the accurate and true full story of price gouging in America in this century.
It's always under the Republicans, y'all. When are y'all going to wake up? Y'all always say that it's us. But when you look at the true historical facts, which we all know y'all can't handle historical facts, it always falls under the GOP.
Yep.
You get a good budget from us when we are in and when we're running the country, and then you take all that claim, we fix your shit, and you get the benefit when you first come in, and then you blame us. I'm tired. I'm tired. You know, Dr. Vibe, you said to smile, but you know, I'm doing my very best to just keep my head above water about our country. This is so dangerous. This is beyond dangerous. I told y'all we're burning. We've been done burned. We're burning. We're burning down to the.
So Lala, I think there lies one of the also challenges. You think it's your country, but the opposition doesn't think it's your country.
No, it's not.
No,
Not
they.
to them.
But here's the thing: when you're guilty of robbing, raping, pilfering,
but that's
you're not going to take. You're not going to take the blame.
Well, they're guilty, but first thing's to admit it.
Yeah, good luck with that.
That's why I said you're not going to take the blame when you know you're guilty of doing.
Well, they don't know. They don't
yes,
think
they do. Are. Yes, they do. The same way they knew it wasn't the cost of eggs. These people know there are these things. They tell themselves these things because here's the thing: if they have to, even though they know it, if they have to admit it and state it out loud, they would have to admit that they were racist. They would have to admit that they are ignorant and stupid. They would have to admit that they're in a cult, and admitting things to yourself, even though you know things about yourself, two very different things. Two very different things.
Sounds like a heck of a lot of trauma.
Yeah,
it is, and it's a lot of trauma.
Welcome to the trauma country of the world.
And here's the thing: it's sad to say. I think the reasons people are so distraught by this is because you really have high expectations for something that was built, or some high expectations. But it follows that if you don't have high expectations, you won't be disappointed. They have shown us at every turn that this is who they are. And this has been since the inception of this country. Why? And we keep holding on to hope. No, well, this time they're going to change. They will not. If you don't hold such high, and it sounds terrible to say, but I don't really hold that high hopes for this country because you've shown me over and over that you are not worthy of me giving you hope. So it doesn't make any sense. And then also, if we go back further, how do you have high hopes for something that was started as a penal colony? Let's not forget the beginnings of this country. Right. People always talk about Australia, yeah, but they also forget here. You think the people who founded this country were fine, upright citizens that they won? No. Okay, so let's not forget that the way you start is often the way you finish, particularly when you are not interested in making changes.
Yeah. And I think that what you're saying, Dr. Tachi, is true too, because I think that's where a lot of this backlash at Black women is coming from as well. And when we say we're done and people are like, no, you can't do this. You can't, you know what? It's not so much that we're saying we're done because they're not hearing the part about we need to do self-preservation. What they're upset about is that we don't have high hopes or expectations of them anymore.
Nope.
Our expectations of them, specifically white women, are so low that they're not used to people saying, you all as a group, individually, whatever, but as a group, you have shown us that you can't be trusted.
Nope.
That you're trash when it comes to talking the talk and walking the walk. And that, we figured out you say one thing in our faces and you do something in the back. And we are like, okay, no more.
And that's where the but I voted for such and such. And don't tell me that. I don't care. At this point, we don't care. It doesn't matter. So actions are what are going to matter. So don't tell me what you did and how disappointed you are. Go do something about it because we've already done our work and we're not doing anything else. So you go fix it.
Yeah, don't tell me that you did it when you didn't talk to Lima and Aunt Peg and Uncle Buddy about their votes.
Yeah, no, listen, you
Well,
cannot bamboozle us anymore. We're
Right.
done. We may have been in the past because listen, and I'm just going to say it. I don't know anyone who tries to keep community more than Black women do. I don't. I don't know it. Other people take our lead, and I'm just going to sit here and say it. That's not saying that other people are worse, because the moment you start trying to say what we do, there's always somebody around the corner say, well, what about, oh, how very all lives matter of you. Shut up and listen to what we're
Right.
saying for once. Just
Right.
shut up and stop talking. What we're saying is, to me, there is nobody that has always pulled and always been the cheerleader for everybody, every group.
We'll
Anytime
never get
anything
that.
happens to any group, we're there marching. Palestine, we're there marching. And then you showed us, well, we really don't care about you. We just needed your body for the cause. Oh, no problem. Go. This is what we're all saying now. And now you want to cry because we told you to go to. Well, here, let me give you some accelerant on your way down. That's the way I feel right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's
Lala,
exactly
do you want to
where
add
we're at.
anything?
I just, the here's what bothers me. I have actually been told by someone that, it's very concerning that you want, like, people are now shunning me for my political views. Yes, we're shunning you because you believe the lies, and now you expect us all to suffer for what you've done. If you choose to believe the lies, don't tell me that I don't have a right to question you. Because let me tell, as I said before, and this is what I mean this in my heart of hearts. Listen, there used to be a time where we could disagree about politics, but see, we could live through what it was. We know Reagan economics and the trickle down, all that, but we got through it. Okay, it set up a lot of things. But this election is a different level. It is a different beast. This is a new kind of zebra that we ain't never seen before. In the fact that they are going to do everything they can to strip this country of any resource or any power that they had, all for their own pockets. This is not just because we have a difference of political opinion. This is now people, billionaires, who are running this country, who have you fooled into sleeping lowly that you can be just like them. I have a problem that someone wants to questionize me because I no longer want to deal with you because of your policies. You
Right.
have done the worst ultimate thing. You might as well have just taken me out and lynched me. Yes, I said it. You might as well. Because what the fuck are you saying about me behind my back? You've now said it out loud. I can't trust you. You can't be in my circle. And I'm not
And I
going to
think
fix it.
that's the part too. Is that you say, look, there's an erosion of trust here, and they want you to separate them. Here's the thing: if you try to tell them, hey, you shouldn't really vote for this guy because he's bad. Well, don't tell me who to vote for. Wait, that was you trying to separate them from their vote, right? But
Yeah.
when you tell them, hey, I can't be down with you, and they're like, well, why can't you separate me from my vote? I tried. You bit my head off. You did not want to separate from your vote for that man, so I have to separate myself from you.
From you.
Period.
But you know what? It's the same thing as, at 100%, Aisha. But it's the same thing as people that hold argument of, can you separate an artist from their art? Right. The whole thing of, you look at Roman Polanski, you
Yeah.
look at Woody Allen, you
Look
look
at
at
R. Kelly. That's another one that people really still had trouble separating from.
right, R. Kelly, and you're like, oh, but they're musical geniuses. I'm sorry, but their lifestyle informs their art. And if I support them, I am directly using my money to support their debauchery. So you cannot support someone, separate someone from their vote. You
No.
just like you cannot separate someone from their art. So to me, that's a bogus conversation. And whenever anybody brings that up, I'm like, all right, so if I buy R. Kelly's music, I am funding the lifestyle of that cult that he's. Why is it so hard for you to see?
And that's
Not
what
only
I'm saying,
funding
because
it,
when
it's
I'm
like,
all
yeah,
in,
remember the songs are
I'm
about
all
kids.
in. When I'm in, I'm all in. When I tell you Walmart will not get another penny from me, they will not get
Never.
another penny from me. When Roscoe's Waffle and Chicken will not get another penny from me. So I'm dead set on trying to find out who's good, who's not, and where my money is going to go to. Home Depot? No, just found out Lowe's. Guess I better go find somewhere else to get my stuff for my house, because you're not getting my black dollar.
Absolutely.
So Real Dango says exactly trash. He also says, "Ha, we've been bamboozled."
Mm-hmm.
And Tony, you may want to watch last week's episode because she asked, "What is the solution? How can African Americans taking care of themselves and family during the new regime?" We had a whole conversation about that, I believe, last week. So if you want to catch the replay on that, but Dr. Tachi wasn't here for it. So Dr. Tachi, what are your thoughts? What, from your lens, what is the solution on how African Americans taking care of themselves and family during this new regime?
Well, part of what I've already been saying, we're not concerned about you all as a whole. We have to take care of ourselves, because for the past hundreds of years, we have been concerned about everyone else but ourselves, and we have suffered mentally, socially, financially for it. And nobody should fault us now for wanting to do these things. So again, this is the thing is, I love the unabashedness of things popping up. There is an account on Instagram and also on TikTok called Shop the Hood. And so every
Yes.
week, yeah, she's great. I actually won 2 things on her show. So yeah, it was some pajamas, some HBCU pajamas, and something else.
Pajamas and onesies again? Oh my gosh, is that the theme of the Today Show?
It
Onesies and
is.
pajamas? Oh
But
my
there,
gosh.
it's great because I've seen there are so many Black entrepreneurs, right? So I've seen a lot of this rise of pride in telling people to this is where we're going to shop.
Right.
It's unfortunate that it took something like this for that to happen, but I think we've always been interested in doing it, and we had other alternatives, and so we just kind of it doesn't matter. You just kind of turn a blind eye. And so, like the whole Walmart, I never shopped at Walmart. That's trash store for me, never. But there are people who did. So now it's a question of when this is what I'm going to fund. Not only am I funding somebody who is that would be contributing to my own oppression, I am also funding anarchy. I am also funding lawlessness in government when I do these things. So it's a huge thing. So I think many people are looking at how can I do this. So I would say that to say, really looking at who in our community, and it's not just about Black, even though we're saying this, it's also about if you're Black and you supported that regime, you're also on my list that I'm not going to support you.
Right.
So
And
it's
that's why
looking
we
at,
talked about the marketplace last week.
say again.
And that's why we talked about the marketplace last week that we're going to work on.
I just heard that when I watched the replay back. I'm so interested in that. It's awesome. So yeah, I think it's about really also pooling resources. The whole rubbish of we can't get together, we can't work together is rubbish. We have to work together at this point. So I think working together and with communities, we need to focus on us. But I think if there are communities who are also committed to the side of right and making sure that, you know what, you all have done a lot. We want to take up the mantle and do other things. And we also want to support you working with people like that. I'm all about small businesses that are on the side of right and businesses of color that are on the side of right. Because again, just because you are skin folk does not mean you are kin folk. So I'm also looking to see what you support. We have a lot of work to do. We've just been shopping blindly all of this time. So now we have to put our money where our mouth is and actually shop responsibly, right? So I think that's one thing, one small part when it comes to economics of how we can move forward. Also, building that legacy and stuff for your family, and not just for your family, but the community. Part of the problem is that we have become very individualistic. That is a Western trait. And
Yeah.
of course, it follows when you live in a Western society, you will start to adopt some of those things. Now, on the whole, I think that people of African descent are still very collective, but we are also still about mine, mine, mine. We have to
Very
stop
much
that.
so. Very much so.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyone want to add to what Dr. Tachi has shared? And for people who want to get Lala and Aisha's thoughts on what needs to be done forward, go to the YouTube page of Dr. Vibe. The replay is there. And that was the only topic they chatted about during that show. That was it. So it was so very few times we do a conversation about one topic. That was one of them. So that's the whole show. They went in on it. So no, I'll let you guys do your contact information and we'll end it off. So first things first, let's go to Dr. Tachi. There she is. Where can we find you?
Just like it says on the screen, Instagram
There you go.
is a great way to to contact me in the DMs if you have anything you have a question about or just want to connect. And of course, I am the founder of Indie Soup Media, an independent network for independent content creators. So check us out at the main channel is you could go to our website, but the main way to watch
YouTube.
is on YouTube.
There you go. And the website will take you to YouTube. There you go. Next up, the key.
It's me. It's me.
The onesie key. The onesie key.
Exactly. Because that's where I'm comfortable. Listen, you can find me everywhere, but I made it really easy for you. I'm on bit.ly/Laura Key Info. I also did a beautiful class today about buying homes internationally as well as in stateside. You all need to start really looking at owning your own piece of land. I also have a beautiful store that I am doing. I have a lot of Black creative things there for you. And so you can shop at bit.ly/roots and richness. And you can find me on that website at all social media because I am coming for YouTube in 2025.
It's about time. And also, too, just a suggestion, share all those links in our Discord group. And what I'll do is I'll share it to some other groups here in Canada, if you're up for that.
Thank you.
All right. And then the Staggers.
Hello. Yeah,
Hello.
that's me. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, my Medium, and Blue Sky. And next week I'll make sure I reiterate those points again about how to get yourself off of Twitter and save your content that you've already put up there, as well as your username so no one else can use it and post under you.
Fabuloso. All right. And myself, these are all the places. Website, the drvibeshow.com, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, the drvibeshow, Instagram at the drvibeshow, X/Twitter, who knows for how long, at drvibeshow, and email dr.vibe at the drvibeshow, and can't forget Blue Sky at drvibesky.social. All right, man, people just getting, let's stop. Hold on. Okay, last comments. Just Tornado, joy and peace aren't things you stumble upon. They are choices. Love that quote. Love that. Glad you're all choosing you. Thank you, Just Tornado. We need to have you come on. Real Django says, hands up, blessings. And Michelle gives the eye emojis. I don't know what for, but if you stay on for another moment, you can give me the reasons why you're putting those emojis. And finally, you can watch replays of Primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala at the Dr. Vibe Show, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. The Dr. Vibe Show at my website, the drvibeshow.com. And remember, next week, Saturday evening, last live prime time for the year. Ask us anything. So my Lala, Aisha, myself, hopefully Dr. Tachi, and hopefully Jill Jones. Ask us anything. We may be asking each other things that you may not know about us. So we'll even find out about each other on that last program. So as always, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions and aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourselves grace. Also, special thank you to Aisha. I know you're not 100%, but thanks for sticking it out for the whole conversation. And I heard something good the other day. If you're not making money, make history. We'll see you.